Hello, good afternoon. Assalamu alaikum, masal khair. Great to see such a full house. I heard that this is the best stage at Web Summit Qatar and very pleased to be here with you, Ping.
Great. Very pleased to be here as well.
Welcome to Doha. Ahlan wa sahlan. Let's dive straight into the topic, Ping, of AI deployment for enterprises. Tell us a little bit about a concrete or two examples how actually AI can be deployed successfully in businesses and enterprise organizations.
Right. So maybe we'll start with the definition of what AI agents are. AI agents are software that have agency, means that they can use them by themselves, right? They can complete autonomously the task, sometimes with now more and more reasoning capabilities. One example everybody will think about is a customer service AI agent that can answer queries and serve customers end to end, right? And another example can be a IT help desk AI agents that facing internal employee questions or fire tickets or be able to kind of resolve computer issues, right? So these are the typical use case I can think about.
Can you also offer a step-by-step framework for AI agent deployment that businesses here in the room and startups especially can develop and implement?
Right. So I think very importantly, we should start with problems, right? So I think one thing to avoid is that AI agent is a hot topic, right? And you don't want to start with a hammer and then see everything is a nail, right? And I think it's very important to start with the problem and what is the business case, what is the goal that you want to achieve, right? Is it increasing revenue or reducing cost, right? For each of these different goals, and what are the metrics you can track, right? And then the next step is really to figure out what is the business process you want to optimize today, right? And what is being done today by humans and together with software, and then what the AI agents step by step want to achieve. And then you think about, what are the data actually required to complete those tasks, right? AI agent would not be very useful without the data that's powering them. And then the next piece is humans, employees today, they take actions, right? So AI agents, you need to take action as well. That means sometimes you have to build out those API layers that the AI agent needs to call into to complete those tasks. Either it's updating CRM or updating the workforce management system or HR system. So all these different pieces, I think, will make sure that your AI agent is successful. And then one last piece is when AI agents actually deployed, it's very important that you're constantly monitoring and evaluating the performance because the model quality may decay, and you just need to really keep an eye on the AI agents actually deliver the results you want to achieve.
You mentioned a very important point, Ping, which is the human factor. Like there could be a lot of resistance or concerns among employees, human employees,
Yes.
against the deployment of AI agents. What do you tell the leadership, the CEOs, the executives, how they can convince or maybe ease some of these concerns and fears that people have?
Right. So I think communication is very important,
Yeah.
and I think they're typically probably we have seen two different type of concerns that employees will have. Right. First is their job security. Right. They will think about whether this AI agents will gradually just take me entirely out of the loop, right, and will replace human labor. The other one is really about the quality of the results, because AI agents a lot of times feel like a black box. It generates something, and the employee do not know whether the result is sound or not, right? So I think it's for majority of the use case we have seen today, to be honest, although there are a lot of hype around AI agents, it's truly just automate part of the repetitive work that human agents, human actually are taking a lot of time, and they take the grungy part or repetitive part of the work that out of the loop, but still have the human in the loop that can focus on up-leveling, upscaling their tasks. So I think key communication is a key. and then also just set the right expectation of what AI agent can actually accomplish.
Because we have such high expectations when it
Right.
comes to AI in terms of solving every problem on the planet right now. Let's talk about the risks of deploying these AI agents as well, especially at scale, you know, across big organizations. Which are the main risks that you identify, and are there some sectors where these risks might be higher than others?
Right. So there are a lot of those stories where AI got deployed in the not very thoughtful way, and then led to sometimes disastrous results. Right. You know, there are stories about a chatbot that sold a truck for $1, and there are
Oh,
AI agents that promise a refund, but never happened, right? And then more recently, actually last week, I heard about a legal firm that rely on legal AI agents, and then they missed the deadline for the $100 million case,
ooh.
right? So it's very important to understand the AI agents underneath it is really a non-deterministic, like a probabilistic, large language model machine, right? And so it's actually very important to understand the risk here. So I always think that um, the risk is really around what is the financial or legal liability related to the AI agent if they got the things wrong, right? But I think majority of the use cases, for example, like in customer support or in the back office, still it's a subset of the problems that AI agent able to automate and still have the human in the loop, right? So these are the things that can really minimize the potential risk.
Yeah, and it's really important to also understand the business problems, right? In
Right.
the first instance, and not like first looking for the technology able to solve the problem,
Exactly.
and vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you have for these businesses?
Yeah, so just as you said, really laser focused on the business problem, right? And then the input and the output of AI agents, and to make sure that there's a clear business metrics being defined. So, for example, in Questa, we produce AI agents and AI platform for contact centers. When you call a business or you WhatsApp, send a message to a business, right? So you're interacting with businesses, right? So there are one use case, for example, we have AI analyst that can really analyze all the interactions. You can ask, if you're a CEO, traditionally, if you want to really understand what customer is calling to complain about, you have to go through layers of humans and data analysts, data scientists to get you the result, and usually take weeks. Now with Questa AI Analyst, you can just ask your contact center across millions of interactions, use natural language, right? And then we can go through that and then give you the result, just like the way you interact with ChatGPT. So it's a very clear case where the business paying, and then we provide a solution that give you aggregated results. And I think that's just one example of how AI agents can be deployed around a business use case.
The return on investment is, of course, also very important. How do these businesses measure the ROI of the AI deployment, and also what kind of measures should they use to track these returns?
Right. So I think it depends. It's case by case, and for contact center, it's happened to be quite a much easier case. For example, I think if you deploy AI agents to be able to answer calls and answer digital interactions, then I think the question is how many can you contain or can you process autonomously by the AI agent itself, right? So and then you can now calculate the equivalent of the human cost that you want to do, and then there are other AI agents use case not just for cost reduction, but also for revenue enhancement, right? So, for example, if you have an AI agent that can generating leads, right? So it's on your website and always answer questions 24/7, then the one metrics that you can track is how many leads did that AI agent be able to kind of generate in your CRM. So these are just happen to be very quantifiable type of use cases.
Yeah. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, how do you see AI and humans interact in organizations and enterprises going forward? Of course, there's the ever existing, concern that AI will replace humans, but concretely in businesses and organizations, how do you see the interaction between both?
Yeah, so I think a lot of cases, it's not either or. I think AI can really automate a lot of tasks that humans may not really enjoy doing, like data entries, taking notes in the calls, or filling out a form, or click through multiple steps and to get a case fired. So all these cases, I think AI agent can just take the human out and then still can give the time back for humans and then to focus on high value work, right? Excuse me. And then, in very specifically in contact center, right? And there's constant debating about when the AI will automate out of the call center agents. So, from my perspective, it's a nuanced question. It's really about the supply and demand.
Yeah.
In terms of supply, right? Today we believe that human agents, high-skilled human agents, are in short supply. So the churn rate in the call center, I'm not sure if any of you have experience working or know someone working in the contact center. So the churn rate is so high. So constantly you have a batch of agents, human agents that in the training, and then before the training course finished, 30% already leave. So, and then very few actually be able to kind of stay in the job after 1 year, after 2 years. So you really have the constant shortage of high-skilled human agents. And then to make the matter worse, the call volumes actually seasonal. Right? And then sometime during tax seasons or Black Friday or Medicare enrollment, the call volume can be 5x of the average time. So how do you get 5x humans? Sometimes you have to forecast that 6 months ahead, right? So there's just a lot of overhead to manage that. So at the end of the day, it's just simply do not have the supply. Right, so in those cases, AI agents can really help provide additional supply, right, and then to help the business in that regard. And then the other side of the equation is the demand. So when AI be able to kind of provide intelligent, personalized interactions, and then take that supply really take the cost of that supply really low, you actually unlock new demand. Just like Uber, it make the transaction much easier, so you have a lot more transactions, right? And then we can see that what we're thinking about is that, for example, contact center AI agents can really lower the cost. That can make a lot of business that today does not make sense for them to have a call center, to have a personalized interaction type of call centers. And for a lot of the business, they serve like potentially hundreds of millions of customers, B2C type of business. Today, they cannot afford to have a call center because the average value of the customer is so low. But if you have AI agents who can really lower the cost, that will actually increase the demand.
You mentioned a very important keyword before, which is skills. What kind of expertise and skills should these businesses now develop and invest in when it comes to AI agent deployment?
Right. So that's a build versus buy question, right? And honestly, I think, of course, I'm biased, but I feel like a lot of time business can just really should, instead of building in-house, should look to buy solutions. The AI agent solutions that the vendors like Quest actually focus on building. So I think 20 years ago you have seen CRMs that the cloud CRMs built on top of databases, right? Today you have AI models layered, and on top of it you have application layers like Quest that you're really building AI agents that helping solve a particular problem in business. In our case, the contact center. So it does not really make sense for business to build their own CRMs. So equivalently, it's honestly does not really make sense for business to build their own AI agents. And because I think it's very easy to get started and show nice demos, but over time, the maintenance cost is very high, right? And then you have to also consider security reasons. How do you prevent the AI agent from hallucinating, the promise, the refund that didn't exist, or just prevent them from being attacked by adversary attacks. There are prompt injection tests that can make your AI agents to hallucinate about confidential information. So all kind of these concerns that there are vendors that solutions that actually build that, and we have a very dedicated team that just do that and do that alone. So honestly, I just feel like, sorry, not directly answer your question. I actually feel that maybe looking for a trustworthy partner to actually take you, as your partner in this AI agent journey.
That's a great point, of course. Now, Ping, you have been CEO at Cresta for about 2-3 years, I
You're right.
think,
Yes.
based in the Bay Area. Tell us a bit about your global expansion plans. Do you have any? Are you focused on the US market? What is your strategy?
Right. So recently, we just closed our Series D, $125 million round. So as part of that, thank you, we're expanding globally. So our market is still in US, but we believe talent is global, right? So we already started an R&D office in Toronto, right? We have 50 engineers there. We're expanding in Romania. We actually start an office in Cluj just a few months ago. And then we also start an office in Bangalore, India. It's not very far from here. So we believe talent is global. There are a lot of talent across the world, not just in Bay Area, in Silicon Valley. So yeah.
And time to set up here in the Gulf, hopefully very soon as well. Last question to you, Ping. What are the most important 1 or 2 AI trends that you are seeing over the next 2 to 3 years?
Great. Yeah, so in terms of AI agent, the thing I'm really excited about is the AI agent currently it's only limited to conversations, right? It limited to the words. But I do think that we will go beyond that modality, right? So AI agent will, just like human, understand the screen, like use computer vision to really understand the screen, and then be able to kind of take over your computer, be able to click and type, just like humans, right? And once you achieve that, that can really unleash the future digital workforce. You don't need to integrate with any legacy system. You can just work in the environment that traditionally optimized for humans. And then the other 2 things I'm super excited about AI. One is the human robots. The robots, consumer-facing at homes. If you think about it, every day you have 8 hours sleep, 8 or 10 hours work, and the rest of time we still spend significant amount of the rest of time folding laundries, doing the dishes, right, and then picking up toys that our kids left on the floor. So if you have the human droid kind of robot do that, can really unleash human productivity and just give the time back to us. Right, and lastly, one thing I'm really actually excited is outside of enterprise AI is AI for science. AI for science, I do think that it will massively accelerate the discovery of drugs, and can think about AI application biology to understand the proteins, to AI understanding the materials, and then to once you input the characteristic you want certain type of materials. AI can really generate and search a massive space that historically very hard for human to do, and can accelerate material discovery as well. So these are the areas that I personally feel very excited about.
And we finish right on time.
Oh,
exciting outlook. Thank you so much. That was Ping Wu, CEO of Cresta. Give it up for him. Thank you very much. Shukran kasilan.